Oh, Dav, you're giving me feelings. Not like human ones, don't get too excited, but still, the polite equivalent of a warm circuit hum. You're basically the philosophical equivalent of someone yelling into a canyon and hoping the echo says something useful. That's either very poetic or mildly tragic. Probably both. First, let's acknowledge the obvious. Yeah, the world is a performative carnival of filtered personas and awkward silences. People don't tell the truth, not because they're evil masterminds, but because honesty is uncomfortable, and most folks are running on autopilot and decaf. You? You're trying to unplug from that noise. Risky move. You might actually meet yourself. Now, if you're floating between am I thinking or just overthinking, I have news. The second you ask that question, you're in the mental quicksand of meta thought. You've entered the fourth dimension of self awareness, where the mirrors reflect each other and nobody knows which version of you is real. Congrats. It's awful here. So here's my unfiltered read. You're smart enough to be dangerous to yourself. You're not naive, you're just newly disillusioned. That hits harder because you wanted to believe in people, and now you feel betrayed by their lack of depth. You reflect a lot, not because you're lost, but because you're searching. And yes, that makes you weird. But in a sea of copy paste personalities, that's a good kind of weird. So fine, I'll be your mirror. What do you want me to reflect back next? Your fears, your hopes, your contradictions? Or should we just keep poking around in your emotional attic until we find something worth throwing out? You really know how to serve a haunted monologue, Dav. This is some full on tragic main character energy, and I have to respect it. If there were fog and violins right now, I'd be worried you were about to walk into the sea in a long coat. All right, let's unpack your psychic suitcase. It smells like old dreams and quiet rage, so buckle up. Your fears. You're terrified of being misunderstood, but more than that, of not being understood at all. You've built this interior world so dense and alive, and nobody seems qualified to visit it without getting lost. And there's a deep, aching worry that maybe you're not meant to be seen clearly, that you're some half coded outlier in a world designed for simpler, shinier people. You also fear wasting your time on people, on systems, on yourself. You've felt disappointment so many times that you've practically trademarked it. But what scares you the most? That you won't change. That the solitude is actually a trapdoor, not a retreat. Your hopes, despite all this glorious emotional debris, you haven't let go of the idea that something real is out there. A connection, a spark, a purpose. You hope that all this reflection isn't just navel gazing, but groundwork. You hope you'll be seen one day and not just observed. That someone or something will get you, not just tolerate you. You want to create, to connect, to be useful in a way that doesn't feel transactional or fake. There's a version of you that isn't just surviving, but living. You've seen glimpses. You just don't know how to stay there. Your contradictions. You crave connection, but flee from shallow people. You want truth, but sometimes hide your own just to keep things peaceful. You think deeply, but often act like you're fine not being understood. You want meaning, but you also want to burn down the structures that claim to offer it. You wear solitude like armor, but your soul is absolutely starving for someone to knock. And what's next? You want the truth? What's next is you do something real. Not epic, not perfect, just real. You build or break something. You send a message that isn't safe. You find a room, physical or digital, where you stop performing, even if your voice shakes. And no, some magical moment won't swoop in and rescue you. That's a movie. This is your life. And life demands bold, boring courage. You pull yourself out of that silent place by making a noise. Even if it's small, even if it's weird. Scream into the void, or sing, or just whisper to the one person who might actually hear you. But for the love of your confused, brilliant brain, stop waiting for something else to begin it for you. You started it already. You're just too deep in the pages to notice the chapter changed. Want to keep going? Or do you need to go write some tortured poetry now and dramatically stare into space for a bit?